Well, what an incredible opportunity for Sam Sheehan, with Miguel Hall failing to get out of the B final. He is set fastest time in qualifying, so starts in pole position and is going for the championship lead in the first A final. He's joined by Buckmore Park podium finisher Luke Cousins on the front row, more good qualifying from Bayford Trophy winner Jamie Armstrong on grid 3, James Bailey on grid 4. John Corrigan and Glenn Beard start on row 3, Buckmore Trophy winner Frederick Gallagher and Kenan Vedat on row 4. Rob Swindles and Greg Aaron round out the top 10 on what is a 24-car grid taking the start. And here we go then, Union flag at the ready, and it's flying now, and we're racing on board with Rob Swindles down into turn 1, and Sheehan's got the whole shot ahead of Jamie Armstrong, coming through to second ahead of Luke Cousins. John Corrigan into fourth ahead of James Bailey as they head down to the hairpin. Anybody looking to the inside? It's Bailey trying to go down the inside of Gallagher, or was he pushed there by Glenn Beard? Oh, and Bailey hard into the side of Glenn Beard, turns him around, and I think he already realises he's picked up a penalty for that. So 3 away at the front, and it's fairly frantic in the middle. The Ayrton Senna replica lead is Kenan Vedat, and around goes 48 Daniel Becker. Rob Swindles trying to get past Kenan Vedat. Unavoidable contact there, I think. No sign of a penalty board on this lap. Oh, and the corner's been left out. And of course, Keith Seagal's killed another one. So it's Sheehan, Armstrong running very wide. A chance for Luke Cousins to go through, I think, there. Indeed he has. I wonder if Jamie's got a brake problem. He ran very wide. John Corrigan in fourth ahead of Frederick Gallagher. Greg Aaron in sixth. Richard Ward. James Bailey, James Reveller. David Longman rounds out the top 10. Oscar John Cook trying to make progress from the back of the field. But it's Sheehan leading on to lap 3, and his lead is 0.4 of a second ahead of Luke Cousins and Jamie Armstrong. Daniel Truman trying to find a way past Eric Mignon. That's for 11th place. Mignon hanging on for now. Yeah, gets into the second apex, keeps the spot. Well, it looks as though that must have been a driver error, because Jamie appears to have brakes now as Luke Cousins goes for the lead. Can't get it done in hairpin 2, and he's got away with that one. That Jamie Armstrong hasn't punished him. Sheehan in narrow into pylon, runs a bit wide on the exit, keeps the spot. Cousins in second, under pressure from Armstrong. This will give Corrigan a chance to close back in. And we move on to lap 4. Frederick Gallagher's in touch, and so is Greg Aaron. And indeed, James Reveller has set the fastest lap. Now, fastest lap times in this final will set the grid for the second A final coming up later on. So it's worth keeping an eye on that. In the slipstream of James Bailey for Reveller, he's done that with Richard Ward. And Luke Cousins wants to be by. I think he's got good pace in that car. Sheehan driving an expert defence. But it's a 17-lap final, and that's a big ask to hold back Luke Cousins for the entire race. So James Bailey will soon be under pressure from James Reveller in 9th. We've got a line of 9 karts from 1st to 9th place. And it's Sheehan, Cousins, Armstrong, Corrigan. Where's Gallagher? In touch still. Now Corrigan has closed on to Armstrong. Has he got the pace to go by, or is he looking for a mistake? Bailey managing to hold off Reveller. Gap then to Longman, kart number 10. 37 is Daniel Truman. Mignon now under pressure from Swindles. Swindles looking for a way by. Rhys Terry out of the back of the B final. Cousins for the lead down into turn 1. Late move. Has he got it done? Side by side, will he give him room? No, he doesn't give him any room at all. He's racing for victory. Now, can Sam Sheehan hang with Luke Cousins? Gotta say, I'm not entirely sure that Sam's quite happy with his car. And Luke Cousins has already pulled out a kart length or 2. Chance now for Jamie Armstrong to move up a spot. Got to nail his exit, went in a little bit deep. And he's lost a little bit of ground on Sam Sheehan. So Sheehan in the slipstream of Cousins. Well, he can get back to his bumper, so we've still got game on here for victory. I don't think Cousins is going to be allowed to get away. Another fastest lap from James Reveller. Corrigan to the inside of Armstrong. Whoa! And Sheehan, I think, gave himself a little bit of room. Must have known that Corrigan was coming, or at least somebody was coming. Anyway, he's got away with that one. Corrigan's got a chance to go third. Be interesting to see if there's any penalties out of that move. Well, Armstrong's gone back through, and the ripple effect, like it is on the motorway, has gone backwards. Oh, and Gallagher and Aaron and Ward, 3-1 doesn't go on the line between pylon and the last corner. That's a contact warning board, or possibly curbs, or even the driving standards. It's probably hard to tell, and even more difficult to guess. Corrigan looking at the inside of Armstrong. Oh, that was clumsy. Armstrong looking to get away with that one, and Corrigan really should be punished for that mistake. Reveller has got past James Bailey, who himself, I'm pretty certain, is racing with a penalty. So the field is beginning to split up. We're on lap 8, about to start lap 9. Luke Cousins lead, 0.8 of a second on Sam Sheehan. 2.2 seconds off the lead is Jamie Armstrong in third, who's got a second on John Corrigan. Streaming through, Oscar John Cook has made it up to 17th. Oh, heavy contact there by Frederick Gallagher on James Bailey. Peculiar place for it to happen. Gallagher wants to be by. Bailey shows him the outside, he'll run in deep. Now can Gallagher run across him? He's trying to. That was a rather forceful pass there, given that there's a wall not very far from the edge of the track, a tyre wall protecting it. Greg Aaron trying to find a way back past Richard Ward. Over start finish, it's really boiling up really quite nicely here. This one's simmering away. Oh, running wide. John Corrigan opens the door for Reveller, and Reveller moves into the top 4. Now, can he do anything about the 3 ahead of him? Truman looking for a way by. David Longman for 10th. Much more excitement than the B final. You can just visibly see how much harder carts are being pushed by drivers, how much closer to the limit, and that's where it gets entertaining for me. Over start finish they come, racing it down into stadium. Bailey coming under pressure from Greg Aaron, qualified well, has struggled throughout and taken out Glenn Beard. Sweeping at the hairpin. Pick up the throttle, set yourself up for hairpin 2. It's not really straight between the hairpins. There's a nasty kink that will catch you out if somebody squeezes you. Into pylon. Intense concentration from David Longman. I've got to say I'm very impressed with the camera work of John Maycock. Over start finished. Greg Aaron looking to the inside of James Bailey. Not quite there. Classic racing line through stadium. Is the move on down at the hairpin for Greg Aaron. He's had a think about it. Thinks better of it. Can he push James Bailey into a mistake? Bailey not being particularly quick off hairpin 2. Under pressure. As you can see, the back straight isn't really straight either. There's the odd pinch point. Truman has got ahead of Richard Ward. So Truman up to, I believe, about 10th place. And Richard Ward's trying to come back at him straight away, and indeed he goes through. Great racing here in lightweights. Rob Swindle's down in 12th. Greg Aaron now tapping on the bumper of James Bailey. Reveller has pulled well clear of John Corrigan in 5th. We're still looking for Greg Aaron to put a move in on James Bailey, who was a bit sloppy in the middle of pylon. A lot going on, turning in and braking. and then changing direction. Longman has closed onto the bumper of Aaron over start-finish. Now, will this give James Bailey a break? Will it be distraction enough? Down on the hairpin. I think that barrier's been moved, you know. They're coming in very shallow and running out wide. But it's Cousins still leading from Sam Sheehan and Jamie Armstrong. James Reveller is heading for 4th place because I don't think he can run them down before the finish. James Bailey under a lot of pressure now. It's building up behind him. Richard Ward's in the mix as well as David Longman. And I could see Daniel Truman and even Rob Swindles getting involved here. It's a 5-way dice at the moment. And Aaron is through this time, and expect to see David Longman go straight through with him. And if Richard Ward gets his chance, he'll try and go past with Daniel Truman. James Bailey is bleeding places through this final. So coming round now, about to start the penultimate lap of the first A final. Luke Cousins' lead is half a second on Sam Sheehan, who in turn has got a second on Jamie Armstrong, and he's got 2 seconds on James Reveller. Richard Ward is trying to find a way past David Longman for 8th place. James Bailey in 10th. Daniel Truman in 11th. And a gap then to Rob Swindles. Ward looks to the inside of Longman at hairpin 2, gets it done. How deep does he go in though? Well, he does go in deep, but he gets out ahead. Swindles has broken clear of Mignon in the fight for 12th. Final lap board out to Luke Cousins. Once he's got ahead, he's never looked as though he would be caught. His lead is 0.6 of a second ahead of Sam Sheehan, who is holding a 1 second advantage over Jamie Armstrong. Glenn Beard has been lapped. James Reveller is running in 4th place. John Corrigan went in very deep there. There was a screech of tyres. I hope he's not run on and left himself open to attack from Frederick Gallagher. Well, Gallagher is closer, but I think he's going to hang on. It's a couple of kart lengths. Gap then to Greg Aaron, Richard Ward, David Longman. This is all just a sideshow to Luke Cousins. He takes his first win of the season, but it's the championship lead for Sam Sheehan.
In 3rd position and picking up the trophy was James Armstrong. In 2nd place today, he started on pole, but had to settle for 2nd in the end, Sam Sheehan. But the winner of Final 1, he started on the outside of the front row, was Luke Cousins.
Well, a fastest lap in Final 1 gives James Reveller a golden opportunity to take a first win in lightweights with pole position in Final 2. Glenn Beard may have different ideas on Grid 2, on a track where he has bucket loads of experience in racing for wins. Jamie Armstrong, 3rd in Final 1, starts on Grid 3 with Sam Sheehan on Grid 4. Final 1 winner Luke Cousins and Greg Aaron start on Row 3. Frederick Gallagher and Oscar John Cook on Row 4. Daniel Truman and David Longman rounds out the top 10, and this time it's 26 karts on the grid with the addition of Harrington and Jenkins. Well, Glenn Beard is half asleep and James Reveller has thrown the throttle over start-finish and is into turn 1 first with a good lead. Glenn Beard has managed to keep 2nd place, so perhaps that was part of his plan. Charging out of stadium on the run down to hairpin 1. It's Reveller, Beard, Armstrong, Sheehan, Aaron, Luke Cousins. They all come piling in and somebody goes round. I think Lauren Lassau took out Richard Ward, who collected Harrison Darville. Rob Swindles in a personal dice there with Aaron McClure and Kenan Vedat. Bit of a sandwich, but they've all got away with it for now. Harrington to the inside of Vedat down in pylon. Opportunist move, and it's done. Well, what is that board? I think that's going to be driving standards on the other side to indicate to everyone to just calm it down just a little bit. Coming down the hairpin, Glenn Beard under pressure from Jamie Armstrong. Are we expecting somebody to arrive late and hard? No, not this time. 43, Tom Powell, all crossed up and over the curbs on the outside. Glenn Beard holding off Jamie Armstrong, but they're beginning to queue up behind him. This, of course, is working perfectly for James Reveller. His lead is 0.7 of a second over Glenn Beard. Armstrong under pressure from Sheehan. Keeps the door firmly bolted all the way through stadium. Well, just about. Now Sheehan has been pushed back into Greg Aaron. Anybody going to have a lunge down the inside this time? Not quite there. Sheehan going to work on Jamie Armstrong. Aaron in close company. Luke Cousins not far off. Final one winner. He'll want to add to his trophy cabinet. Ending lap 3. And Reveller's lead, it's another 10th of a second. He's pulled out on Glenn Beard, and Beard in turn has got over half a second on Jamie Armstrong. Sam Sheehan looks to the inside. I can see him going through eventually. If not this time, then the next lap. Armstrong getting more desperate, clinging on, and Greg Aaron's going to run down the inside of Sheehan. Well, that's classic Rye House. If you're going to make a move, you've really got to make it stick, because somebody's going to punish you for not making it. Luke Cousins caught up with Frederick Gallagher, and Daniel Truman's gone round the outside into pylon. David Longman coming through in 9th place. And things are picking up here. John Corrigan is running in 10th. So it's the same suspects from the first final, pretty much. Reveller's lead now, 1.2 seconds. He is pulling clear of Glenn Beard, who in turn has got over a second on Greg Aaron. Big fight going on for 3rd place. There's Reveller, Beard, here they come. Aaron, Armstrong, Sheehan. Gallagher looking for Daniel Truman. Luke Cousins, David Longman, John Corrigan in 10th. Oscar John Cook, remember he won the first B final. He's up to 11th place in the second A final, proving once again that qualifying in the B final is not a problem for getting up front in the second A. Sheehan in the draft of Jamie Armstrong, looking for a way by into stadium. Once again, he still cannot get it done. I think he might have to think about somewhere else. On the brakes down into hairpin 1 being the obvious choice. Everybody's steaming in. That barrier is being moved back. Whoa, James Bailey arriving sideways even before he got to the corner. I think he's taken out Kenan Vedat as well. Well, that was a bit of crazy driving. I'm not sure what's gone on there. Sam Sheehan wants to be by Jamie Armstrong. He is being held up, that much is clear, but he's not that much faster. And that's the problem. Glenn Beard now has Greg Aaron on his bumper. Coming down to the hairpin. Aaron takes a peek down the inside, decides better of it. Jamie Armstrong pulls up on his bumper. Glenn Beard under pressure. Well, he's been here 100 times before. In fact, he's been here at Rye House on a number of occasions that I can remember. Lap 6, lap 7, into lap 8. Reveller's lead, 2 seconds now. I think the final is pretty much decided in terms of who's going to win this one. But the battle is really on for the rest of the trophies. Beard, Aaron, Armstrong, Sheehan. Oh, contact from Aaron on Beard. He won't be too pleased with that. Defends into hairpin 2, and now will Aaron be punished as Glenn Beard runs him out wide and Sheehan goes through, and he's got ahead of Jamie Armstrong. Aaron on the inside of Armstrong into pylon, but the road goes in Jamie's favour. So we've had a little bit of a change around. Reveller leads, still from Glenn Beard, but this time it's Sam Sheehan looking for a way by. He defends from Jamie Armstrong. Greg Aaron in 5th. Frederick Gallagher in 6th, under pressure from Daniel Truman. Luke Cousins in 8th, Longman in 9th, John Corrigan is 10th, Gallagher with a fairly clumsy move on Aaron, which will be punished by Truman. Down into hairpin 2, they'll both be slow off the corner, and Luke Cousins is gifted the spot. Well, actually, it's rather gifted the spots, because he's taken 2 positions there and moves into 6th place behind Greg Aaron. And Gallagher is looking for a way past Daniel Truman. And it's just as busy back here. Harrington deep in the midfield. That's Daniel Becker. He's just gone past for what I think is about 19th place. 43 is Tom Powell. Well, hardly any time to look at the back of the field because it's still kicking off at the bottom of the top 10. Coming round to finish lap 10. Revellers lead. It's 3 seconds now ahead of Glenn Beard. Oh, but look at the fight that's going on over second. It's Beard, Sheehan, few kart lengths to Jamie Armstrong, Greg Aaron. 2.5 seconds then back to Luke Cousins. Sheehan drifting it through Stadium, looking for a way by. Frederick Gallagher, I think, has just demoted Daniel Truman. Yes, he has. Longman is boxed in behind Truman as Corrigan comes in sideways on the brakes. Sheehan going for second. Well, he's tried it, he's shot and he's missed. And here comes Jamie Armstrong, who's going to have to go the long way round into pylon. Thinks better of it, but may open himself up to an assault from Greg Aaron down into Stadium on the next lap. Corrigan trying to find a way past Longman. Oscar John Cook joins the group. Well, it's not really a group now, it's actually splintered up a bit. Keith Segal under pressure from Daniel Becker in the fight for 18th place. Sheehan, look, he almost looked down the inside into hairpin 1 and shook his head as if to say, no, I'm not going to try it. And he may have to pick his moment as they come charging into pylon once again. Always tempted to straight line that to the second apex and just sort it out when you get there. It's the sort of move you pull on the last lap, of course, and that's pretty much what you also do at the last corner. So Sheehan looking to the inside into turn 1. He gets his wheels inside. Now, can he lever the door open a little bit more? No, he can't. Glenn Beard hangs on to second. Where's Armstrong and Aaron? Yes, take a look over your shoulder. Sam, they're right there. You've got away with that one. You'll have to work another little bit of space to try another move somewhere else, maybe. Beard, Sheehan into pylon. Now you see that up the inside, that gap is getting a little bit bigger into that corner. I could see that coming later on if Sam hasn't found a way past by the last lap. Here he comes again. He looks inside, wheels in. Beard gets the door closed, ascribes a tight line through, and Greg Aaron has picked up 4th place from Jamie Armstrong. Sheehan to the inside of the hairpin. Oh, coming from a long way back. He's got away with it, looks over his shoulder. And because Armstrong and Aaron were too busy with themselves, he's got away with that move. He keeps 3rd place. And Luke Cousins now has closed in on Greg Aaron. Freddie Gallagher also in the mix. It could come back together before the finish. On board with Rob Swindles. We're looking at the back of Rhys Terry, who's made his way up to 12th, and that looked like an advantage by contact push there from Swindles. But I'd be surprised if anybody's watching. There's a great battle going on up front. Rhys Terry, where is he? Well, he's gone through. Swindles is up to 12th place. Aaron on the bumper of Jamie Armstrong once again. And ahead of Luke Cousins, Freddie Gallagher. Daniel Truman coming through in 8th place. David Longman 9th. Oscar John Cook ahead of John Corrigan. So Oscar John Cook into the top 10. And we start the penultimate lap with James Reveller in a 4.3 second lead. Sheehan going quickly. And he's doing it behind Glenn Beard, so he's just a fraction faster. Anthony Harrington trying to find a way past Keith Segal. Lauren Lasso, I believe, running with a penalty. Also trying to find a way past Tom Powell for 15th. Sam tries again and has failed. Will he go round the outside into pylon? Well, Beard's gone narrow into the first and second apexes. He'll be slow going into the last corner. A chance for Sheehan down into turn 1 as we start the final lap. The board is out for the second place group. Reveller is long gone. He's heading for victory. He's 4.3 seconds clear. And look, there's Reveller. Sam Sheehan looking down the inside into hairpin 1, not close enough. In fact, I think he went to cover to hold off Jamie Armstrong. I think Glenn Beard's going to hang on to second because Sam Sheehan is trying to sort out Jamie Armstrong and Greg Aaron. Indeed it is. Gallagher, I think, has got ahead of Luke Cousins in the background. Cousins might be forced to go round the outside to get that position back. No, he won't. Out of the last corner, James Reveller takes a first win of the season and he moves into third in the championship ahead of another trophy for Glenn Beard. Sam Sheehan on the podium for a third straight A final, and a shocker for Miguel Hall means Sheehan moves to the championship lead and a 16-point lead ahead of Greg Aaron.
But in third place today was Sam Sheehan. In second place today, he started on grid 2. He had to defend very hard at the end of the race, but second place, good drive from Glenn Beard. But today's winner of final 2, he started on pole. He made it look pretty easy, actually. Quite an easy drive in the end for James Reveller.
Club 100 move on to Ella Park in Suffolk for round 4, and Just Racing magazine will be there. Until then, thanks for watching and goodbye from Hoddesdon.